How you doing, people? Robert here, AkA Robess, Anti-Corruption Scotland. I'm going to do a video in two parts here today. And the reason I'm going to do two parts is because I require the people to understand and comprehend and pay attention to what they're going to be told with this document. This is an important document, people. A lot of people don't know about this document. I've used this document twice in two cases previously, and the two cases has been dropped, and this was part of my paperwork, right? And it was lodged in the case file. Now, people seem to think that when you walk into these administrative hearings, that if you declare yourself a man or a woman, the case is over. That is not the case, people. What I'm about to read here today, people, is not for educational purposes. It's fact, and it has been used, and I'm giving you first-hand knowledge that it has been used. So let's start, people. Formal challenge to the 12 presumptions of law. Definition of presumption. An idea that is taken to be true on the basis of probability. As a presumption is a presumption on which must be agreed by the parties to be true then and equally. If one party challenges the presumption to be true on the basis of probability, then that is all that is recognised to be required to remove the presumption as a formal challenge to that presumption. The presumption then has no standing or merit in fact. A probability. The extent to which something is probable, the likelihood of something happening or being. By definition then it is not substantive, as it is only a probability of what may be and therefore has no substance or immaterial fact. A state court does not operate according to the true rule of law, but by presumption, the colour of law. Therefore, if a presumption presented by the private bar guild are not rebutted, they become fact and therefore are said to be true. There are 12 key presumptions asserted by the private bar guilds which have unchallenged stand as true, being public record, public service, public oath, immunity, summons, custody, court of guardians, court of trustees, government as executor or beneficiary, agent or agency, incompetence and guilt. Presumption number one, people. The presumption of public record is that any matter brought before a state court is a matter for public record, when in fact it is presumed by the members of the private bar guild that the matter is private bar guild business matter only. Unless only rebutted and rejected by stating clearly the matter is to be put on public record, the matter remains a private bar guild matter completely under private bar rules. Number two, the presumptions of public service is that all the members of the private bar guild who have sworn a solemn, secret, absolute oath to their guild then act as public agents of the government or public officials by making additional oaths of public office that openly and deliberately contradict their private superior oath to their own guild. Unless rebutted and rejected, the claim stands that these private bar guild members are legitimate public servants and therefore trustees under public oath. Number three, the presumption of public oath is that all members of the private bar guild acting in capacity as public officials who have sworn a solemn public oath remain bound by that oath and therefore bound to serve honestly, impartially and fairly as dictated by their oath. Unless openly challenged and demanded, that the presumption stands that the private bar guild members have functioned under their public oath in contradiction to their guild oaths is challenged. Such individuals must accuse themselves of having a conflict of interest and cannot possibly stand under a public oath. Number four, the presumption of immunity is that key members of the private bar guild in the capacity of public officials acting as judges, prosecutors and magistrates who have sworn a solemn public oath in good faith are immune from personal claims of injury and liability. Unless openly challenged and their oath demanded, the presumption stands that the members of the private bar guild as public trustees acting as judges, prosecutors and magistrates are immune from any personal accountability for their actions. Number five, the presumption of summons is that by custom of summons, unrebutted stands and therefore one who attends court is presumed to accept the position defendant, juror or witness and jurisdiction of the court. Attendance to the court is usually an invitation by summons, unless the summons is rejected and returned with a copy of the rejection filed prior to choosing to visit or attend jurisdiction, and the position of the accused and the existence of guilt stands. Number 6, the presumption of custody is that the custom of summons or warrant for arrest unrebutted stands, and therefore one who attends court is presumed to be a thing and therefore liable to be detained in custody by the custodians. Custodians may only lawfully hold custody of property and things, not flesh and blood and possessing beings, unless the presumption is openly challenged by rejection of summons and or at court. The presumption stands you are a thing and property and therefore lawfully able to be kept in custody by custodians. Now people, I've given you the first 6 presumptions in their law. They go by presumption and probability, right? To presume something doesn't mean to say it's true, right? Assume something doesn't mean to say it's true, and it's not a crime in law. This is where people are going wrong, and most people don't know about this document or what's in this document, but it's an important document because it'll educate you to what's going on with the legal system, legal society. When you think that you're using a lawyer for your benefit, that benefit is transferred to the administrative hearing. You become a thing. A person does not get recognised by the man on the bench or the woman. They don't hear you, they don't see you, and that's a fact. That's happened to me on numerous occasions, and I can verify this under a charge of perjury. Their Tom and Jerry court, known as an administrative hearing, is legal. It is not lawful. It is not a court of record, and that's a fact. It can never be a court of record because they couldn't do what they do. Please people pay attention to these first 6 in this first part of the video that I've just read. It's important that you comprehend and understand this, right? Because it has a detrimental effect when you go into these administrative hearings using lawyer liars, right? These whores of Babylon, known as lawyer liars, solicitors, know exactly what they're doing. They're taking you into the legal realm as a person. A person only exists in paper, and that's a fact. And to prove that point, the next time you get your driving licence with the entity photo on it, your passport with the entity photo on it, ask it a question and see if it answers. And if it answers, you're an imposter. Remember, that is only an image, people. When they take you in and lock you up, they take your photographs. That is only an image, that is not the man. And this is where they get the jurisdiction and the control, because they can only deal with the dead. The photograph is dead, it has no life, it can't speak, and it can't recognise the living man. It's just an image. Please people, listen to what myself again and Anti-Corruption Scotland is doing. We're trying to educate you to a high standard so you understand this system and how this fraudulent system works. Please share this information far and wide, people. It's important that this message gets out there. And I would like to thank the people again that subscribe to my TikTok, the people that sharing the videos and reposting the videos is very much appreciated. This is deadly serious, this information, for people to understand so they know what's going on. Please people, share it far and wide, make it viral, right? I'm getting there slowly but surely, and I need to get there faster so we can try and make change. This system is easy to bring down. It's just that there's a lot of people out there doing good intentions, but they're not doing what's required to stop this system, right? We all come together, it's a numbers game, it can be stopped. These people in power do not have the power that they think or claim to have, right? Because it's a legal system, legal society, and relates to person incorporated or unincorporated. Anyway, people, I hope you like this information. There's going to be a part 2 soon. Please share this far and wide. Please comprehend and understand it. Take notes of this video if you want. I've not got a problem with that. But everything I'm telling you is true and accurate. And I have used this information in 2 court cases that was dropped. Anyway, people, take care, be safe, and there'll be more information very, very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.